Hello and welcome, combatants. I know the hype has been slowly building for the Mortal Kombat movie. I'm super excited. It'll be dropping later this month, and that's when I was going to drop this video to get people, from the movie to the game. But it looks like AT&T had other plans in store for everybody. They actually just got finished hosting the Annihilator Cup, which was a MK11 tournament where a bunch of Twitch's top streamers basically play MK11 in a tournament setting for the first time. It was a great experience. They put on a great show. They didn't really know what they were doing though, and it just reminded me I needed to get this video out a lot sooner because a lot of eyes are going to be on the game. Everyone's going to want to make the transition from the movie to playing, one of the greatest fighting games of all time, and I just wanted to make sure everyone hit the ground running. And we're just going to give this game the same treatment that we give our ArcSys games, the Coach Kai treatment. So, without any further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, so first things first, what peripheral do we use, right? I know we got keyboard warriors out there, not sure what to do on PC. We got people buying PS5s now. People got the game on PS4. And there's people like me who came from traditional 2D fighters like Street Fighter, rocking the stick. So what's the best move? Well, I've told a number of people, and it seems like for this game, they definitely just wanted you to be able to use whatever you wanted. So, if you're coming on PC, and you don't already have a controller ready to go, I would definitely recommend the PS4 controller. The game just kind of lends itself to it. If you're on Xbox controllers are fine. If you're on Switch, the controller, the Switch Pro controller is absolutely fine too. Controller is just the default move in this game. The game really lends itself to it very, very well. But if you have your free choice, because you're on PC like me, definitely shoot for a PS4 controller, because the way that the D-pad is designed, being 4 individual buttons, just like on the right hand side on the face of the controller, it really doesn't allow for a lot of crossover or fat fingering between different inputs on accident. So and even if you got smaller hands or larger hands, you can really go to Amazon.com, using the link down in the description. And if you want to buy something third party just because just to fit your hands more comfortably, you're definitely free to do that, because this 4-button system even remains constant throughout those. And so yeah, that advice before was for people who don't necessarily have a controller particularly in mind that they're going to play with. But what about people like me who actually came from 2D fighters like Street Fighter, and I'm already playing on stick? Is it okay to play stick in MK11? The answer is absolutely. I actually played it on a stick the first year it came out, but when Ultimate came out November of last year, I actually started learning it on a PS4 controller, and it was extremely clear NetherRealm had just designed the game to be played on the pad optimally. I don't really want to go into the technical stuff because this is like a beginner introductory video, but you're just gonna have to believe me, this game is just made for pad, and you can see why a lot of the professional players also play on pad. It just kind of lends itself to it. So if you're playing on stick, I would consider playing on pad. It's a lot easier on my hands because the way you have to play, with the block button is kind of weird on the stick, but it's super intuitive on a controller. So yeah, at the end of the day, just listen to your body. It's going to be the ultimate guideline. But yeah, if you guys do have an opportunity to move from stick to controller, definitely do so. I think it's a lot easier on the hands. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my keyboard warriors. I actually have a pretty cool story one day I'd like to tell you guys on stream about my first run-in with a Mortal Kombat prodigy. This player actually used to go toe-to-toe with me on keyboard, and they didn't even know what a fight stick was. So I definitely can't count the keyboard warriors out for sure. This game is actually totally doable. The last 2 people I taught the game actually preferred to play on keyboard, and they actually picked up the mechanics a lot faster than my controller player. So again, as long as playing on keyboard doesn't hurt your hands, you're good to go. The buttons are completely customizable, so just find what's comfortable. Go into the practice tool, just change some buttons around till you find what you like. So yeah, any peripherals, pretty fair game. Just try to avoid D-pads that are just one whole thing, like the blocky D-pad, mainly the ones you see on certain Xbox controllers. They really kind of guilty of this, usually because you're not, you don't need to put too much thought into the D-pad because you're normally playing a shooter or something. But yeah, as long as you avoid that, you're pretty good to go. So yeah, we have our proper peripheral. Now it's time to hit the character select screen and find our proper character. Express yourself. Alright, so let's talk about what character we're going to use to basically beat people's face in. So NetherRealm's put together a pretty good cast of characters. We're going to see a lot of them in the movies, but I want to make sure that you guys are playing strong characters that have strengths in pretty much every aspect of the game, so you don't have to be in a situation where you feel like your character's not strong enough, right? No one likes that feeling. So let's go over a rundown of a few of the characters that are pretty easy to pick up and will have you hit the ground running and are really good characters to kind of grow into. Alright, first up we got my boy Liu Kang, the Chosen One, our main protagonist throughout most of the series, even though I don't think that'll be the case with the film. But yeah, he, just like you would expect from the Chosen One, he has a tool for any situation, fireballs for the mid-range, flying kick to close gaps, and of course the bicycle kick is back in Bruce Lee fashion along with the nunchuck. So yeah, he pretty much has it all. When a matchup really does get rough for you though, you can always customize your movesets in this game to really fit the situation. My personal favorite for so many reasons, and it's really just a shame I don't have the OG Liu Kang skin, and it is really hard to get, but yeah, he's definitely a great starter character. You can really grow into his kit. Next up we have my Adenian Queen, General Jade. We're probably not going to see her in the movie. She usually hangs around the main cast, but I don't think her people are going to be the focus of the movie, but it doesn't matter because she is the main character of MK11. She has been very strong since the game has come out, putting people in their place with the bow staff from day one. She can really just put pressure anywhere on the screen. She's got really far-reaching overheads, tons of different lows, great mids to just kind of fill the screen with pressure. So if you like controlling the pace of the match from the start, she's definitely the one for you. And that's just inside of the fight. Outside of the fight, she has some of the best cosmetics in the game. Like I said, she's the queen of Mortal Kombat 11. You can literally win off style points alone. But yeah, Jade is MK11. Enough said. Oh man, the ninja who needs no introduction, the man who started it all, Sub-Zero. If you hover this guy in character select, especially online, you definitely will be sending a chill down your opponent's spine. If Jade is everything good about MK11, Sub-Zero is definitely everything people don't like about in-game MK11. Online, especially, he's just a mix-up monster. He has really good overheads, really good lows. His throw game is really solid, especially with his crushing blow conditions. He basically just keeps the opponent guessing constantly and just neutralizes their mid-screen game because he can just take any trade he wants with Ice Ball. And if you're throwing out highs, you know, high projectiles from across the screen, just gonna slide under him and just literally slam you. So his mix does come with risk, but if you manage to kind of just keep all that under control, not go too ham, you will literally become everyone's demon. And if you do get opened up a couple times, thanks to Ultimate MK11, like I said before, we can customize our moveset to just reduce even that risk down to 0. If you want to become the enemy, the mix-up monster, it just mixes people into oblivion, just hit me up, you know, on stream. I got the build you need. But yeah, Sub-Zero's a great character. You can really grow into him even if you don't want to play the mixed game. Oh man, what a character. Don't worry if she looks familiar or unfamiliar because she's kind of both, you know. I like to call her Mother Nature, so technically she's always been around, but she did technically debut in this game. Cetrion literally bends the elements to her will, and not in a cheesy fashion either. She's actually debatably the best character in the game. She literally water ports out of corner pressure. She can spam the sun full screen, and she brings Tornado Alley right to your monitor. She's got it all, guys. I'm not kidding. If you start this game and invest any time at all, you are probably going to be having a great time literally killing people with her. And I'm not just talking about mid-fight. Next to Jade, she's got some pretty cool skins too, which, you know, makes sense. She is Mother Nature and all. So if you literally want to be the avatar and bend all the elements to your will, but with a little bit of drip, you cannot go wrong with Cetrion. Now, y'all know I had to put some DLC representation on here. MK11 has technically been out for 2 years, so you know it was coming. My choice as far as DLC characters to try is Spawn, voiced by Keith David, of course, the true voice of Spawn in my opinion. He comes out of the gate fundamentally strong with the perfect balance of really beefy buttons in the mid-range and just really good use of just his hell magic and guns, tons of guns. I really put him on this list in particular though because he has some of the nuttiest custom moves in the game. Just to name one, he can literally sacrifice some of his offensive meter permanently, right, to gain access to all of his crushing blows with no conditions attached. Basically, he's going to end up doing a ton of damage for no reason. It's kind of insane. He's the DLC that just keeps giving. The more you put in, the more he's literally going to put out, just in terms of variety, playstyle, and just how cool he is, man. Look at this guy. But yeah, that's Spawn. If you just want to get one DLC character, I definitely recommend him. You definitely can't go wrong with this guy. Alright, so we got our solid pool of characters. Now, what are we supposed to do with them? How do we actually play them? It must be pretty difficult, right? Actually, not at all. What if I actually told you that was the easy part? NetherRealm actually got our back in terms of just getting in there and having a good time and actually playing the game. They have this really cool system called the tag system. So what we're gonna do here is just go into practice mode, tag a couple of strings, tag some special moves, and start piecing them together. Now, let's find a few strings that start as lows, which again, they have the information displayed here on the right hand sides. Lows and mids are definitely where you're gonna wanna go, because highs can be ducked, even though they're really quick, right? So once we find what we like, now what we wanna do is kind of input these attack strings, right? And then afterward, towards the end of inputting those strings, we want to do the command for our special move to kind of what we call special cancel, thus completing a basic combo. Okay, so let's pause real quick. If that sounded like gibberish or too difficult, here is the exact tutorial in game that will show you step by step how to special cancel. Most of the tutorials in this game are actually phenomenal, all right? But that's a topic for another day. For the sake of time, we'll be assuming you at least are able to perform a special cancel. Okay, unpause. All right, now that we can special cancel, we can do all kinds of crazy stuff. We can do things like this, we can do things like that. But what if we want the combo system to work for us? This is when we take a step back and we start looking at our special moves as kinds of functions. So, right, what if we wanted our special move to do more damage? Well, you'll find moves that launch your opponent and put them airborne, allowing for more hits, right? What if we wanted to push them into the corner? What if we just wanted to play a keep away game? Maybe we're playing Jade or Cetrion. We just want to be over there and we want to throw stuff at them, right? There's probably a special move for that too. The point here though is to try and figure out how we get these special moves to kind of function towards our character's strengths, right? So yeah, try to look past the damage values as you practice your different kinds of special cancels and see if you can find the right one that just kind of fits your style at the moment in the particular situation that you're also in. You can thank me later. This will help you a lot down the line, no matter what fighting game you're playing. Well, actually, maybe not think me quite yet, because most special moves aren't actually safe on block in this game, so you can't just be throwing them out willy-nilly. In layman term, if you go to your move list and you see that the move here, if you look here, and the move is greater than -7 on block, you want to use those special moves pretty sparingly, right? Just because you do your attack string doesn't mean you have to do your special cancel. Most attack strings should leave you in a pretty safe position, so just stop there. Don't special cancel, right? It's probably not your turn. You should probably go ahead and block. But thanks to NetherRealm, you can actually see all of this really easily, right? So, you know, just take note of that. Don't throw special moves out willy-nilly. And if you do, at least try to amplify them with the appropriate input, and you can probably make them safe. So it's become pretty clear that MK11 is pretty accessible, you know, with just a little bit of time, maybe 15 or 30 minutes practicing in the dojo, as we like to say. You're ready to go out and do some damage, but where do we start? The answer is not going online to play other players actually quite yet, and that's for a multitude of reasons. The biggest one that we want to develop good habits early, and the second one is you probably don't have that many skins outside of the default. The game's been out for 2 years. You don't want to go out there looking shiesty, you don't want to go out there with default skins, trust me. So let's try some classic or character towers so we can get used to you know, how we're gonna, the flow of combat, as I like to say. And let's get some loot too, because, you know, going out there with default is just embarrassing, man. You know, so you got your classic towers, right? Just like playing in an arcade, that's pretty cool. that's a great place to start, or even warm up for your session. And we have the character towers, which are going to unlock certain particular cosmetics for the character that you're maining. All of these are fantastic, but as you're doing them, I want you to focus on a few things so we can start forming good habits early. A lot of players don't get this luxury of someone telling them to do this, so let's just make sure you don't end up like the rest of us, getting our ass beat for years and then finally realizing we didn't start off too great. So for starters, when you get knocked down, you want to upset your opponent's offensive rhythm by throwing in some delayed get-ups, which the game lets us do pretty simply. All you have to do is find our flip stance button and hold it when we get knocked down, and our character will sit on the ground a little bit longer, and this is going to really discourage our opponent from just like pressing buttons with a particular rhythm, right? That makes sense, right? So you may have thought the flip stance button was pretty useless. It has a number of different functions though. Just try and spam this actually, you know, when you're warming up or you're trying out towers for the first time, just so you get used to like, hey, I have different options on the floor. There's actually a few others, but I just want you guys to worry about this one because it doesn't require a meter and it's really, really good at all levels of play. And so as you're clearing these towers, another thing that will probably happen quite frequently is this. This is your uppercut crushing blow. Every character has it, so you're gonna see it a lot, and it's gonna happen a lot for a bunch of different reasons. So even if you don't know why it's happening, just be on the lookout for it and just learn how to combo off of it. Everyone pretty much can do the uppercut crushing blow into another uppercut for about 300 damage. That's a good place to start if you literally can't think of anything else, but just go ahead and experiment with it as you're clearing those towers, because it's going to net you a ton of damage in a bunch of clutch situations in the future. And last but definitely not least, I want you guys to get used to using your crouching moves, right? These are going to be your really quick pokes, and even though they don't do a lot of damage, they are very quick. Some of them are actually lows, experiment please. And more than anything, they're really reliable in sticky face-to-face situations. A lot of people like to do the uppercut as a crutch. So that's cool, but definitely experiment with the different punch and kick buttons and kind of figure out which one of these pokes is going to get the job done for the situation. A lot of people don't like using these because they're just worried about damage, but these are actually very, very useful, and they're going to kind of control the inside. So just get used to pressing them, and you should start to see why these are so useful. Guys, this is the most important part of the video: how to have a good online experience in Mortal Kombat 11. There are 3 things I believe that are needed to walk away from this game every time you play it with a smile on your face. Number 1, do not, and I repeat, do not play ranked. Okay, there's a reason for this. All right, you cannot decline some matches from people with really bad connections. Matchmaking tries to deter people with bad connections to each other, but it's not perfect. It's actually sometimes not even close. I've been matched up against people on Wi-Fi. Packet loss is inevitable. Trust me, you don't want to hold that L if you don't feel like you deserved it. It doesn't feel good. Also, right, matches are best of 3. That means that you only have to beat someone for 4 rounds, 2 rounds at a time, right? It's eat or be eaten out there, and I've seen some pretty disgusting means of getting those rank points. Okay, no one's looking for fun there. No one's looking to interact with you. No one's looking for a good time. Okay, don't do it. If you are gonna do it, just play 3 matches, and whether you win or lose, you get out of there, you take a break, go drink some water, go use the restroom. But if you don't have to play ranked, if you feel like you don't have to play ranked, don't. There are other great modes. Let's talk about those now. Number 2, play casual matches. These are the bread and butter of the online experience. You can decline any match. So if you can see the connection is bad, you can just decline. You can leave anytime, even mid-match, with no penalty. I just did it the other day, last night, right? And before you even start the match, you can see how experienced the opponent is. So if you feel like it's not a fair match that's being made, you don't even have to take it, right? And there's nothing on the line, so you can focus on what you want to focus on, right? If you're like me, you want to improve, you can do that. If you just want to, like, you know, spam a move and just troll someone, you can do that, right? They don't have to take it, they can leave. Everyone's having a good time, trust me. Casual matches are the move, right? And, you know, again, if you're trying to figure out certain moves, why you got hit by certain things, most, I think, if not all matches are actually recorded, so you can actually find them on the main menu here, and then just go over the tapes. So again, if you're just trying to get better at the game, you don't have to play ranked. You can just play casual matches, look over the tapes, and it'll become pretty clear what you need to improve on. And you know, it has happened multiple times. I have made friends online through casual matches. You know, all it takes is some you know, heart-throbbing last hit situations and a couple mercies, and you will make a friend, guys. I'm telling you, casual matches are the move. Number 3, watch Mortal Kombat 11 streams. This was actually the main point of the last video I made about MK11. So I'm not going to go into it in too much detail here. There are tons of streams on Twitch and YouTube, so there's no shortage there. If I had to recommend someone, I'd have to recommend MF Slayer. I talked about him in my previous video, and he has just been killing it still. It's kind of nutty. This guy's still hosting tournaments, still getting new players into the game. I think he's working on a tutorial series to just show you all the different parts of the game and how to improve. So if you just want to hang out somewhere really cool, he's got a cool Twitch stream. I got the link in the description. There'll be some other links in the description as well. But yeah, MF Slayer is a great place to start if you just want to be a part of the Mortal Kombat culture. And with that, you officially have everything you need. You got your controller, you know, you got game now. And, you know, if you stop by and watch a few streams, you got a little bit of MK culture in you. We're very glad to have you. MK11 is a very accessible game with a lot of different layers for a lot of different kinds of players. You know, some people, you don't have to even play the game. You can just enjoy the culture. But I believe most people just need to step in the right direction, which I hope I provided with this video. And of course, there's a lot more to learn too. So I've left a few nuggets of knowledge down in the description for those looking for more. If there's something really bugging you, just let me know in the comments, and I'll probably make a video on it if a lot of people want to see a particular mechanic or how to beat a particular character, all that good stuff. But if you guys want to connect with me personally in our little FGC fighting game community, you can find me Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Twitch. But till then, guys, please like, share, and sub to the channel so I know if I'm doing the people a good job or not. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Kairos out. Peace.